From the Darien High School tennis courts on this Monday afternoon, a Clash of Titans matchup in varsity girls tennis as the Staples Wreckers are in town to take on the Darien Blue Wave. Hi, everybody. Joined alongside the resident DAF Media tennis expert, Dave Donnelly. I'm Braden Shanks. So glad you can be with us for truly this historic rivalry between Darien and Staples. And Dave, these teams have met in a lot of classics over the years, and today's going to be a brand new revival of it.
Both among the top teams every year in the FCIAC. And a lot of talent on both teams, and both are, I can assure you, doing their best to win this one because it's a lot of bragging rights in the FCIAC, but it is highly likely these guys may see each other again in the FCIAC tournament, which they normally do. And now that I believe the Darien team has been, actually they've always been Class AA, so they may see them again in the States too. So it's often 3 times that these teams meet up.
It is indeed. You look at the history between these teams. They've met in 5 of the last 6 FCIAC championships. It's been Darien and Staples, and they've combined to win the last 6 FCIAC titles. So these are truly 2 of the powerhouses within the Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference. And now taking a look at our big board for this afternoon's contest at singles 1, Maddie Henley will go up against Sarah Donnelly. And Dave, a little bit of a change for Staples. We thought we would see Burns at singles 1. Instead, they go with Henley, and Henley and Donnelly should still be a great singles 1 match.
Definitely. You know, when you look at both of these teams, there's always depth. And what's interesting, I think the Staples had several key players graduate who are no longer on the team, but Darien is without a couple of their top players. So it looks like it's going to be a very good match.
And one of the big players they lost, the All-FCIAC first-teamer, Amelia Gallen. They've had to replace her, and they've had a couple players step up. And you look at the rest of the Staples Wreckers, Rayana Anada stepping up at singles number 2, Jenna Kornbluth against Scarlett O'Malley at singles 3, Sadie Yanks and Jessica Schmidt at singles 4, and then Burns and Kircher at doubles 1 against Grace Altoff and Ava DeCastro, 2 great double teams going at it in that doubles 1 matchup. And then Lehmansdorf and Caggiano, as well as Remy Suffer and Delaney Das going at it at doubles 2. And then rounding it out into doubles 3 will be Wang and Zittimer against Fitzpatrick and Lily Farmer. We were just talking, Dave, Lily Farmer, what a player she is for this Darien team. And again, an underclassman or a junior stepping up for this Darien team, and she's got the start at doubles 3 today.
Well earned. She's been playing very well this season, and big serve, and definitely got some game. So I think all these matches are going to be really good matchups.
7 great matches on the docket. The teams are huddling up, getting ready to start in this one. A little bit late. This match was scheduled to start at 4 o'clock. It's about 4:35 Eastern Standard Time. You mentioned Dave, Darien's been sitting for a while. Staples got here a little late. They got their warm-up. How do you think that affects the Blue Wave that they've been sitting for the last half an hour or so?
They could have grown some cobwebs over the last hour that they've been sitting. We shall see. Typically, teams both hit and then kind of go out and start playing shortly after they take the court. I think in this case, Darien might want a quick hit just to kind of warm back up.
And Staples still rallying up the troops here with their head coach Jenna Wider, the former Ward Melville star back on Long Island. She's now come over to coach this Wreckers team. And again, has led them to be one of the powerhouses in the FCIAC, Darien, Staples. And I believe, Dave, the boys are playing at Staples High School right now in the home and home.
The home and home, and that has always been just a nail-biter. Both of those teams are extremely well matched. I think for Staples boys, last year had 3 commits leave the team. Ty Brunetti, Robbie Doss, and
you're looking at me to remember this here. Well, nonetheless, it was a great matchup that Darien and Staples played last season, in which I think it went 2.5 hours, I want to say, and we're still trying to figure this out.
And I just saw him the other day, and I'm just drawing a blank. He was the state doubles champion.
Luke Brodsky?
Luke Brodsky, who is now playing at #1 doubles at Franklin and Marshall, Pennsylvania. So the loss of 3 strong players, has impacted the the Staples boys team. They also have some injuries. Noah Wolf, who would have likely slid into the #1 role, I believe has been nursing a shoulder injury. So it's going to be a tough season for them, especially with all that's happened. But it's still the rivalry, and like anything else, there's good years for both teams. I mean, Darien has 3 college commits on the Darien boys roster, so next year it may just switch again. So.
Again, Darien Staples, truly the rivalry in the FCIAC when it comes to tennis. You look at Darien, New Canaan, the premier rivalry in a lot of sports, but when it comes to tennis, there's nothing quite like when it's the Wreckers and the Blue Wave. They've met in all the recent meetings on the FCIAC and state level, but again, it all starts with the regular season, and that's here what we're to decide here in this regular season meeting between the Wreckers and the Blue Wave, as the players are slowly making their ways to the courts. Darien, they enter play today 5-1 on the season. They have won some blowout matches, 7-0 against Norwalk, West Hill, Trumbull, Bryan McMahon, and Bridgeport Central. However, Dave, they did fall to Fairfield Ludlow 4-3 in a game that the Falcons played the Wave pretty tough and came away with the victory over the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and that one was, a lot of it came down to doubles one, where, I mean, the Darien doubles one line with Ava DeCastro and Grace, Grace Altoff, they were the state finalists last year, and they, unfortunately for them, came up against one of the Price sisters. One of them graduated last year, and it was a 3-set, a really thrilling match. And Price and her partner prevailed. So
Price and her partner prevailed. I like the alliteration you brought to that right there. And as for Staples, they enter play 4-2 on the season, coming on in a 3-game win streak. They took down Wilson 5-2, Danbury 7-0, and West Hill 7-0. But you look at their 2 losses, Dave, not that close. They lost 6-1 at the hands of the Greenwich Cardinals and 7-0 at the hands of the New Canaan Rams. So Staples, a team that can beat you by a lot, but could also give up a lot. So they're looking for that evenly matched competition.
Well, and New Canaan has really rebuilt their program. They have a lot of talent on that team, as does Greenwich. So it was a little surprised that Staples fell 7-0 to New Canaan, but tough team. And
plus, it's also tough to have to go to the New Canaan High School and the tennis courts there and have to take on the Rams on their home court, which they were unable to get it done. Again, so it's 5-1 against 4-2, and both of these teams looking for a conference win here, especially as you look at seedings in the FCIAC and state tournament. They might be meeting there, and it's a matter of who you play in the first round, the second round, the quarters, and have to play potentially these teams later down the line.
And you don't know in terms of injuries and things like that. Today Darien is missing a couple players, and they, hopefully all the teams who participate will have all their players, but you can't guarantee it.
That's something then you start seeing a little bit of a stack or some mismatches come the state tournament and some players playing in places you didn't see them the first time. So it's a whole lot of wild cards out there once you get the state tournament and the FCIAC tournament, but they all have the same goal. They want to come away with a piece of championship hardware. But again, that all starts here in the regular season meeting between these two as the players start warming up here. Dave, any other matches on today's docket that catch your eye?
I think the Staples, Corinna Burns has been playing singles one. She's playing with Audrey Kirchner, I believe, doubles one. I think Staples is trying to make a statement there and see if they can take out the state doubles finalists last year. That's going to be a really good match because there's 4 really good players on that court. And you'll often see in FCIAC matches, a lot of teams don't have the depth. You will see some mismatched doubles teams, a better player, paired with a weaker player. And the good teams will obviously focus on the weaker of the two. I don't know who you focus on in that match.
There's again 4 talented players out there in that contest. And do you think that that's something that head coach Wider looked at and wanted to try to pick up a win in the doubles category and move some players around for the strategic purpose?
Maybe. Don't know. Sometimes people will play doubles if, they're sore or something. I mean, it's a lot less taxing. Could be different things at play, but, maybe the staple strategy is to try and sweep the doubles and win one of the singles to get the victory. But that's going to be a tough match for them to do that. And Darien also has a very strong team with Delaney Doss and
Remy
Suffren, who, just like Grace and Ava, they've been playing together for years. So they know exactly what the other's going to do, and they're a strong doubles too. That's one of Darien's strengths, is that they have not only a lot of really solid singles players, but they doubles 1 and 2. They have a lot of experience and depth.
And that's something when you look at this Darien team, it's really the next player up mentality. They graduate players year to year, but they have those players that can step up and fill the roles. You look at Juliet Johnson, Catherine Rolap, the Wiley sisters a couple of years ago. They graduate, and then they bring up the new talent to fill those holes, and they do it so seamlessly that there's truly is no talent lost for this Darien team.
And, you know, it's interesting. We're talking about the Ludlow. One of them's Gabby. I can't remember the other sister's name, which one is on has graduated, but when you get 2 strong twins to come on a team, you can really change the balance of power in the FCIAC if they're strong. I know there's a team up in, not in the FCIAC, where they have 3, Wojcicera, I think they're on Amity.
Amity.
I think they have 3 sisters, and they're all good. And you, for the last few years, have seen Amity every year returning and to the state championship and going deep into the tournament. And, you know, it's one family deciding to move into that zip code can change the balance.
Especially when you look at a conference like the Southern Connecticut Conference, where the teams there, you got the strong teams in the Southern Connecticut Conference and some weaker teams, and you look at the FCIAC, where it's just a powerhouse lineup up and down the slate. New Canaan, Darien, Staples, Wilton, Greenwich, all these teams are capable of making these year runs, and it really just goes to show if you can be the best in the FCIAC, you have a huge leg up heading into the state tournament.
And interestingly, for those who go on to play in college, where you can play singles and doubles, one person can make a massive difference, especially if they're a good doubles player, because they can lead to 2 Ws in one match.
Of course, the college season's still going strong. A couple of the conference tournaments just going out there. I believe I saw North Carolina taking home the ACC. I don't want to say that was women's tennis. Could have been the men's, though.
And that is a level of tennis that it's. I mean, that's just. I mean, these players. A lot of these players are really good, and that's just another universe. A lot of those guys can ultimately go pro.
You eventually do see some of them going pro, playing on the circuit out there in the U.S. Open and the Australian Open, all the other tournaments they do out there. And again, it all starts in high school, and it starts with these matches right here, like against the competition of Staples and Darien. And again, there's a lot on the line here for one of these teams looking to pick up the win. As teams are still warming up here, getting ready to start our first slate of matches. Again, you see in the quad box in the top left, Maddie Henley and Sarah Donnelly in singles 1, singles 2 in the top right, doubles 1 meeting in the bottom left, and then singles 3 in the bottom right. Again, you can see all the names there, and those are the first 4 games, as well as doubles 2 will take place over on court number 5. So we will occasionally switch over there for the singles or doubles 5 match between Suffren and Das and Lemonsdorf and Cagione. But again, just finishing up warm-ups.
It's a beautiful day here. It's great to play, but it's a little chilly.
Still not as bad as last year's Darien Staples boys match. I want to say it was 3.5 hours, and it might have been 30 degrees out. That was not a fun day to be out here calling tennis. I just remember I was trying to bundle up here in a sweatshirt and some sweatpants, and it was cold out here, but the athletes didn't seem anyone fatigued by it. Plus 3.5 hours in that cold of temperatures was just brutal.
Especially start having trouble feeling your fingers.
I think I lost feeling, I want to say, the first half hour.
And I don't think DAF Media has a heated broadcasting area.
We should put that in the budget for next year. I think that's something in reason. Get a couple heaters out here. And it's also, you look at the schedule, the tennis season's usually the first one to start in the spring sport. It's their 7th game. They started all the way in about the first week in April. But the real difference between tennis and every other sport is just the amount of games they play and the amount of time they play. Their first game on April 10th, their last game on May 11th. So they play 15 games in the span of a month, essentially, which normally these other sports have a month, month and a half, 2 months to play these games, and it's just crazy how much of a sprint this tennis season is in high school.
Well, and for the better teams, they still go on for another 3 weeks in the FCIAC and the states, and then the state individual tournament for you have to win a certain percentage of be it number 1 or 2 singles or 1 or 2 doubles.
And you mentioned those individual tournaments last year. Darien was lucky to have the FCIAC Player of the Year, Lauren Zhang, who won the state open singles. Zhang not playing today. They also had the doubles team of Castro and De Castro and Althoff that went to the finals of the doubles tournament. So Darien's definitely got some talent when it comes to the state level and the individual and doubles level.
Definitely, this is a year where Darien has a very strong team.
I believe we're still warming up on all the courts.
They should be starting pretty soon.
Just working on the serves here, getting ready to get going. Again, a match that was supposed to start at 4 o'clock. Not entirely sure what the holdup was, but we're just about ready for first serves. Well, this is something you'd see in a baseball game. The grounds crew coming out, taking the tarp off the fields. Teams taking some infields.
An update from the boys' matches. The Darien boys, singles 1 through 4, have all won the first set at Staples and are entering the second set.
That's the update from the boys' match. Again, happening right now at Staples High School over in Westport, Connecticut. I believe the tennis courts are on campus there.
They are.
One of the most beautiful campuses in the FCIAC, for sure, Staples High School. And you look at all the amenities they have up there in Westport: Staples Stadium, Ginny Parker Field, the Wakeman Fields, the baseball field. I'm drawing a blank on the name. It's got a lot of the Darien vibes to it, and it's, again, just a beautiful campus up in Westport, Connecticut. A little bit of a wind gust. So again, team still warming up. Darien, they will be in the full black outfits. Staples in the, I guess you could say, visiting whites with the blue skirts. Although we were talking, Dave, an interesting combination for Darien. The all black, not a single word of Darien, not even a Darien logo on there. But it's their uniforms this year.
They're good uniforms. I suspect done for fashion reasons. I'm surprised not to see the Blue Wave logo, but it's kind of intimidating, the black.
It kind of is. You're not the expert in fashion.
Yeah.
You just stick to the tennis analyst. And we've got the first okay. We're just about ready to get going. And our first match is singles 3. Appears to be getting going. That singles 3 match again between Scarlett O'Malley and Jenna Kornbluth. And you see the quad box on your screen in the top left. Singles 1, Maddie Henley, Sarah Donnelly. In the top right, singles 2, Rihanna Anada and Annabelle Hirsch. Doubles 1 in the bottom left, Burns Kirscher against Althoff De Castro. And then singles 3 in the bottom right, about to get going with Jenna Kornbluth and Scarlett O'Malley. Now here is our first match about to get underway. Kornbluth on the first serve. And she'll try it again.
Singles 1 is just, this looks, I thought that was the first point. It was another practice serve.
It's always confusing, the fact that they do the serves to wrap it up, but you think that it's match starting. They almost need like a stop line or a flash. No, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for, though. Those blinker lights, you know, signals that it's on.
You want to get, like in baseball, the new pitch count,
Yeah.
the timer for the pitchers?
Yeah. Just get some serve timers out here. Got to be in the server's box, ready to go with 8 seconds up. So Kornbluth back on the serve against Scarlett O'Malley. Takes a little off it, gets it in. Kornbluth, a little too much on it.
And from observing Jenna in past years, she's very consistent. She's not going to blow you off the court, but she's going to get everything back.
about a player on this Darien team. Scarlett O'Malley, the freshman on this Darien team. One of 3 freshmen for Darien, getting the start at singles 3. The other freshman, Annabelle Hirsch, getting the start at singles 2. So, Dave, it's a great time to be a Blue Wave tennis fan. They've got some underclassmen coming up in the system.
That's what you want to see. You want to balance by year.
It looks like a couple other matches getting underway over on the singles 2 courts. It looks like they might just be wrapping up as O'Malley picks up the points. It looks like the first game. So O'Malley takes the early 1-0 lead over Corn Bluff. That's how this set gets started.
Okay, and it looks like we're starting on 1.
So Maddie Henley, Sarah Donnelly in game number 1 and set number 1. Donnelly on the serve, and here we go. Powerful left-handed serve, picks up the points.
I think those were still practice serves.
Really? One pretty impressive practice serve, I've got to say.
Want to add to it the whole lefty thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say the strong lefty swing on it definitely throws some people off the competition. Reminds me a lot of Sarah's brother, Will Donnelly, the other lefty in the family.
It's very rare to have twins that are both lefties.
Look at that. And they're both talented players out there. Back to our O'Malley and Corn Bluff. Scarlett O'Malley took the first game. Again, O'Malley on the near side in the black, Corn Bluff on the far side in the white. Doubles 1, stretching out, getting ready to get started. Again, this is our only match that is currently ongoing.
I think everyone else is about to start.
Again, a match that was scheduled to start at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now 4:55 Eastern Standard Time. Altoff and DeCastro take their side of the court. Serve from O'Malley.
Very nice shot.
Beautifully placed shot from O'Malley. Was looking for that line, hit it perfectly, and there's nothing Corn Bluff can do on it. Doubles 1 about to get underway. Big swing from O'Malley. Line drive out of play. And now we take you over to Burns Kircher against Altoff and DeCastro over on court number 4. So Altoff to Castro, they're on the far side. Burns and Kircher on the near side. And a talented player for this Staples team, Audrey Kircher, the senior captain. She was an All-FCIAC first-team doubles member a season ago, although she lost her partner in Jordana Latzman, a senior last year for the records, one of 3 impact seniors on this Staples team a year ago. So then Burns slides in. That is Karina Burns, a senior captain. Again, Burns, the usual singles 1 player for Staples, stepping down to play doubles 1. They've got a tough competition in Altoff and DeCastro. Altoff not able to return the volley at the nets. Point to the Wreckers. Drop shot from Corn Bluff and O'Malley into the net.
So I believe all the matches are underway at this point.
Henley on on the serve over on singles 1. Got a big match over there in singles 1 between Maddie Henley and Sarah Donnelly. And Henley hits that one just out. You can tell Henley's looking for all 4 corners on the courts, trying to keep Donnelly running. O'Malley not able to keep it in. And now over on singles 2, Anand and Hurst.
And Annabelle has a powerful game, especially when she can set up and dictate play. She tends to, I'm not sure she's lost this season, but from the matches I've observed, she's been moving her opponents around very effectively.
Hurst 4-0 on the season in singles competitions. Looking to make it another right here. But again, she's got a tough competitor and Anand in her way. Back to singles 1 with Henley and Donnelly. And Henley swinging, missing on it. Well play shot by Donnelly.
Some good pace on that, on those points so far.
Staying on this singles 1 match. And Hurst with the winner.
That's a long game.
And most of the first game's finishing up. Donnelly taking it in the first game. And 2-1 over on court number 3. O'Malley leads Corn Bluff in the first sets.
That's a good point. Back to deuce. That's the first game. It's still going on. It's probably 6 or 7 minutes in.
Again, when you've got 4 of the best players in the conference going at it over there on court number 4.
It's going to be some good points. That was a really good point.
And DeCastro Altsoff takes the first game. Big one for Darien. Donnelly winning another one on Henley. Hear the birds chirping. A beautiful day for some tennis on this late April Monday. Between Darien and Staples, you're watching the DAF Media Network. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity girls tennis match between the Wreckers and the Blue Wave.
There you see that lefty slice. There's some players who can go months without seeing a lefty, and it just takes a while to adapt to, and good players like Sarah just gives them a little extra edge.
Again, it's always an advantage being a southpaw out there.
Just like baseball.
Although it's always interesting when you get 2 lefties out there. And you wonder who has the advantage. Here on singles 2. Anad, the sophomore for the Wreckers. Hirsch, the freshman for the Blue Wave. So 2 underclassmen going at it at singles 2. Great get from Altsoff. She's playing the front greats. And DeCastro looking for the winner, and she's got it. And again, the communication out there between Grace Altsoff and Ava DeCastro is unmatched. They're playing like a cohesive unit out there, and there's a reason that they went to the state doubles tournament finals, and it's for that reason right there.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. Donnelly on the near side now. That one just has too much power on it. Donnelly looking for that left line, not able to find it. Hirsch able to grab that point on it, and Anad finds herself up in that game in this first set. 1-0. 1-0. And Kornbluth with a beautifully placed shot. A tennis IQ right there, had the entire court wide open, making O'Malley run, and has the points.
And Jenna plays all over the court, comes in a lot, puts pressure where she can, very effectively.
And Kornbluth, the drop shot, she gets it on court 3. Donnelly and Henley finishing up on court 1. Haven't updated the score yet.
I believe Sarah's up 2-1.
Anyway, staying on court number 3 with singles 3. And that one is just out on it. Burns was looking for the winner, not able to keeping it in play. Hear the voice of the Wave faithfuls making the trip out here on this Monday night. It's more of a Monday afternoon. All 5 matches have now officially completed the first game. And again, they have to do 2 rounds here at Darien High School. They have only 5 courts, so singles 1, 2, 3, and doubles 1 and 2 start. And then once a court becomes available, singles 4 and doubles 3 get underway.
And it gets really interesting, Braden, when the deciding matches go on later, because a lot of some of those players, you have to be in the right mindset when both teams are cheering you on for the critical point.
And it always gets interesting when you got the whole team watching you, all the spectators watching you. It's a much different atmosphere than when you hit the championship season and all 7 matches that happen at the same time. And 2-1, Anad has the lead on Hirsch over in singles 2. It's now 3-1 Donnelly. She's starting to pick up some momentum in this set. And a fly ball, that's out of play. Here's O'Malley and Cornbluff. And that's in.
It's a good shot.
You can see Cornbluff just giving a round of applause to O'Malley. It doesn't get much better than that right there, folks. O'Malley with the beautifully placed shot in the back row. Back to this doubles one match, Burns and Kirscher against Altsauf and DeCastro. Ooh, heads up. The ball all the way from court number 3, finding its way on court 1.
It's a good put away from Ava there.
And there's just balls flying everywhere. That one's also going to end up on court 1. But when they rebuilt it, they made them all even here. They didn't put them on a slant. Could be wrong on that. Nonetheless, so far evenly matched competition between the Wreckers and the Wave. Here in the first 5 matches.
Looks over like on doubles 2, Staples is out to a 2-love lead.
And again, the free balls from O'Malley, her tactic. And eventually she gets a winner on it. You can tell O'Malley's just trying to tire out Cornbluff. And eventually she gets the winner.
That's a nice shot by Ava at net. She cut that.
Donnelly now moves up 4-1 on Headley in singles 1.
The singles 1 is the only match where there's starting to be a little separation. The others are pretty close.
Anand and Hirsch 2-1. Cornbluff O'Malley 2-1 in favor of O'Malley. DeCastro and Altsauf against Burns and Kirsch. Again, they're in the second, third game was 1-0 and a beautifully placed shot right there. They would call that, at least in volleyball, a kill shots.
And those are the Darien team hit a nice ball that they didn't think was going to come back, and it did. It's when you have good net players on both sides, you never know what's going to come back.
A push-pull battle. And there's the Letts on court 2. And you think they would get dividers or something, or some sort of netting between nets, or between the courts.
If you get netting, the good players use heavy slice, and oftentimes even serves can't be returned.
So competitive advantage.
Pick your poison.
Again, there's a reason that I'm not designing these courts here. I just sit here and watch the matches.
I've seen enough of that Spider-Man action where you see someone just get caught up in the netting.
Where have you seen that? Like in indoor facilities? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's common because they might be playing a match and have a lesson on the next court.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. If you pay money for that lesson, you don't want to have courts or balls flying out all over the place.
Oh.
(3-2) O'Malley leads Cornbluff on court 3. Again, every game so far, every match except for the Donnelly and Headley match is within a game or two. And that one's just out.
I think Sarah's going to use the slice here. It's been pretty effective.
And another ace for Donnelly. It's almost like you called that one, Tony Romo. To be fair, I feel like you have a little bit more of an insight on Donnelly's game than most people. Just a tad. 2-1 here in singles 2, and Hirsch with another. Donnelly now goes up 5-1, looking to close out that first set. Again, in a best-of-3 match. And that first set is always important.
But that's one of the unique things about tennis. If you fall behind in baseball, you're behind. Tennis, you can sometimes you just don't have it to start off, and it's a fresh slate in the second set, and you often see a guy just kind of will concede a set and come looking for you in the second.
Again, some of these matches are absolute marathons out there, especially when you get to the Pro Tour and the men, they play 5 sets sometimes. It's
At least they got rid of the where there's no limit, there's no tiebreaker, and there's no more of the Isner match. I think he won in the 5th set 71-69 over 8 hours.
Yeah. What was that, the Wimbledon?
I think so, yeah.
Plus then you got the time limits at Wimbledon, so you got to keep stopping and starting. And definitely some interesting tennis matches over the years. O'Malley not able to keep that one in.
Corinna with a nice put away at net. You can see where Sarah's standing. She's in the court. She's looking to do something with the second serve.
And that one is out, so Donnelly's got another point win. Now Henley's looking to stay alive in this first set. Has her back up against the wall, but again, it is best of 3 sets. And now O'Malley, actually it's Hirsch and Anad. Rhea and Anad, they've been back and forth.
They have.
And it's actually 3-2 in favor of Hirsch. She's won the last 2 games in that contest. O'Malley looking to do damage. Kornbluth doesn't put enough on it.
A lot of soft hitting drop shots and kind of semi lobs.
When Kornbluth gets that shot to work for her, it's a really dangerous shot for O'Malley. The fact that just the backspin she puts on it, how little force she puts on it, it just barely drops over the net.
Well, it depends where she's hitting it from. You're right, when she's kind of on the service line and she just drops it over. If Scarlett isn't careful, she's too far back.
Back on singles 1 with Henley and Donnelly. And 6-1. Donnelly will take the first set. And the ever important first set goes in favor of Sarah Donnelly on court number 1. But again, anything can happen as Henley looks to play from behind.
Good point. I think before the night is over, each of these girls are going to run about 5 miles.
Isn't that the fun part of tennis, though? All the running back and forth. I mean, where's the fun if the balls just hit to you every time? If that was the case, I'd be a pretty good tennis player myself then. Back to doubles one with their... Now we take you back to singles one, entering set number 2 after Donnelly took the first. Again, Maddie Henley, the Staples sophomore. She lost to Emmeline Wang in last year's FCIAC championship match. That was a contest that Darien took down the Staples Wreckers by the final of 4-3. And you look at the recent meetings between these teams, and it feels like every year they're decided by 1 or 2 matches. Last year they met, it was 4-3. The FCIAC championship was 4-2, and they tied it up at 2-2 over on doubles 2. That's a lot of 2s. So a good job by Remy Suffren and Delaney Das to get the equalizer against Lamesdorf and Cagione. And Lamensdorf and Cagione, 2 great tennis players in their own right for this Wreckers team. Cagione, senior captain on the Wreckers.
Good drop shot.
Again, more of the drop shot action over on court number 3. Doubles one has moved to 3-2 in favor of, I believe that's Althoff and DeCastro. Actually, no, they're trailing 3-2.
Trailing.
So Burns and Kircher takes the last 2 games, and they now get the lead. And now, with the exception of singles one, every match is a 1-game contest. And they're all 3-2. Henley on the serve. Either team willing to give in right now. Back to doubles one.
I'm sensing there's no camera on doubles 2.
We'll share a camera between doubles 1 and doubles 2. What gave it away?
Because I keep pointing over there and it never shifts. Oh, you do have it.
DAF Media, we have a little bit of everything.
Is the drone cam going to kick in?
See, I'm not sure if we have the budget for that yet. I think the budget stops with the heated press box area for us. But here is Lamensdorf and Cagione against Remy Suffren and Delaney Das over on doubles 2.
That's a good get, Jenna Kornblad.
Been 2-2 in the 5th game. Kornbluth trying to go to the corner. O'Malley keeps it alive. Kornbluth with the put away. Jenna Kornbluth with the great shots. And 3-0. Sarah Donnelly off to a hot start in that second set. Although, is it 3-0 or is it 3-2? I don't know what the other side says. There's no
3-love.
There should be another tennis ball over there.
There should be. I don't know where it went. It looks like Annabelle Hurst is out to a 4-3 lead. And she is up a break. Oh, that's a good drop shot by Jenna.
You can hear Ria Nada getting some words of wisdom from her head coach. Again, coaching is legal in between sets in high school tennis.
Actually, in the middle of, I believe you can coach during.
Oh, wow. And what's the deal in college? Is that where the cutoff starts?
College, you can any point.
Wow. So it's professional then is when they start it. Coach has got to sit up in the stands, can't say anything.
Well, they changed that after the Serena Williams incident. There is coaching is allowed, but only on the side of the court where your coaching box is.
Which did they ever figure out? Was she actually getting coaching during the match?
She was.
Oh, she was.
She was technically breaking the rules, but everyone was doing it, so they just made it legal.
Well, I feel like it's one of those rules that is so broad, it's kind of tough to enforce. I mean, I feel like everyone yelling stuff at you technically could be coaching.
Sure. You could be coaching by moving your hat a certain way.
Well, what do you think this is? Some Houston Astros scandal or something? Bang on the trash can, hit a slice serve or whatever?
Hard to use sound in tennis, given the need for quiet.
Could always do what they do in the classrooms, a cough or two. Back to singles two with Hirsch and Anad. Anada trailing 4-3 to Hirsch. Actually, if I read that right, she's up 4-3.
She's up 4-3. Ooh. Put away from Scarlett. Nice shot. There's a lot of soft balls, and then occasionally you just see a rip.
Ria Anada fighting in there with Hirsch. But again, back on court one with Sarah Donnelly and her pure dominance so far in this second set. Maddie Henley getting the last second move to singles one, trying to hang with Donnelly. So 5-3 over, or 5-2 over on court number 3 in favor of Scarlett O'Malley against Jenna Kornbluth. Again, some matches continuing to make some progress. 4-3, Anada leads Hirsch. O'Malley over Kornbluth, 5-2 as I mentioned. 3-2, Burns and Kircher leads Althoff and Castro. Then you're watching doubles two right now with Lamensdorf and Cagion and Suffren and Das. Again, another solid doubles lines for both of these teams.
Looks like Das and Suffern have gone up 3-2.
Wow, talk about a long game.
A lot of deuces in that match.
Henley unable to return that serve from Donnelly. Again, still moving on these first 5 matches.
Oh.
Donnelly moves up 5-0. Finds herself a couple points away from taking the first match of the contest. Now here we are, 4-3 in favor of Anata. Anata, she lost in doubles 2 last year in the FCIAC championship to Sarah Donnelly as a freshman in a match that Staples lost, but again, a player back for her second year on this Wreckers team. And then Hirsch, the first-year freshman, looking to make an impact. Again, Hirsch 4-0 this season in singles matches. Great shot by O'Malley.
O'Malley's really changing speeds in this match. A lot of softball, and then when she sees the opportunity and sets up, she's really ripping it.
That's part of the reason O'Malley is such a dynamic player out there for this Wave team.
I believe she is a freshman, and she, with Lauren and Emmeline out today, it's a chance to step up.
Yeah, one of 3 freshmen on Annalise's Brown. You've got O'Malley, Hirsch, and then Caitlin Cronin, the 3rd freshman on the team. And O'Malley takes the first set over Cornbluff, I believe 6-2. So she's got the 1-0 lead, and we keep you here on court number 1 with Donnelly and Henley as Sarah Donnelly looks to close it out for the Wave and take home the first match win for Darien. And a winner at the nets. And that'll do it. Sarah Donnelly takes the first match in favor of Darien. She takes down Maddie Henley by the final of 6-1, 6-0. And just like that, Darien goes up 1-0 over the Staples Wreckers in this match. And Dave, how important is that first match?
Well, it's always good to get that first win. As you can see, all 4 remaining. I mean, singles 3, Charlotte ended up winning, I think, 6-3 in the first set. But Jenna has been that utility player for Staples wherever you need her. In the FCIAC, I believe she's had a couple key wins over Darien over the last couple of years, and I think she won the match 2 years ago that decided the state championship for Staples. So she's tough, and she finds ways to win. So Scarlett's playing really well, but it's a new set, and we'll see.
And here in this varsity tennis match between Darien and Staples. One nothing. Darien leads it over the Wreckers.
But for Staples to win today, they're going to need to win doubles 1.
Well, they definitely do when you look at
two of their top players.
That's what I was just going to say. When you play 2 of your best players out there on doubles 1, you're going for the win. You're not going for a potential 3-setter. You want the victory.
And Darien has moved. Their down 3-4 on doubles one.
And that's still in the first sets. And Kornbluth not able to get it over. As you can see, the singles two players tracking their ball down on the other court. Back on doubles two. Lamensdorf and Cagione. It's Remy Suffren, Delaney Das, two seniors on this Darien team. Both senior captains for the Darien Blue Wave. It's good to see them stepping up here in their senior campaign.
I think they're still in the 6th game.
Wow. They've been going at it for about an hour.
A lot of deuces. Might want to switch this to no ad.
O'Malley, it's Kornbluth having to track it down. She got there, wasn't able to keep it in. But again, you look at what she had to face there. She had to spin her entire body around and kind of at an angle, knock it over the net, unable to do so. They're here in this second set after O'Malley took the first 6-3. And 1-0 O'Malley goes up in the second set. Again, in a match that Darien leads 1-0. Sarah Donnelly took the first match for Darien on singles one over Maddie Henley, the sophomore.
This is warming up on court one. It's good to see Jessica Schmidt getting a chance to see what she can do under big match circumstances.
Schmidt, a Darien senior, out there playing on this varsity team. She'll go up against Sadie Yanks, the Staples sophomore. Schmidt 1-0 this season as a singles player. Saw some time in the doubles game, but back out there for her second singles match of the season. And again, both doubles matches going strong over on court number 5, 3-3. They're about to start game number 7 in the first set. Wow.
And this is where that late start might get called because of darkness.
And I believe, Dave, that happened last year when these teams met.
It did. Up in Staples, it turned out to be the deciding match. Sarah Donnelly won the first set. She was in a tiebreaker in the second set, had a big lead, and Corinna came back and won the tiebreaker. And it forced a third set, and they only got one game in before it was too dark, and they had to complete it 3 weeks later.
So who would make that call? Would it be the coaches that would be in charge of that?
Yeah, I mean, there was also strange circumstances in the sense that the balls had turned brown. So I think they might have been able to play with a fresh can of balls for another few minutes, but not much longer.
So they were hitting the ball that hard, they were turning them brown?
I've never seen balls that color, but I was having trouble tracking what was going on.
Were you wearing your glasses that night? Sure those weren't like baseballs or something they were hitting?
Maybe it was some sort of pollen or something. The balls were discolored.
Jeez.
They were hitting the heck out of the ball, too, so probably deformed.
The balls luckily are green this afternoon for Darien and Staples. Hirsch has a lead. Can't quite see what it is. Looks like someone hit the scoreboard. What is that, 5-4?
It looks 5-4. The scoring tower is turned at an awkward angle, and we're unable to discern the score.
It's almost like someone hit it. Again, a lot of these matches still in their first set. After Sarah Donnelly made quick work of Headley over on singles 1. That gave Darien the 1-0 lead in the match.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
O'Malley with the great shots.
She was playing softball, saw the opportunity and took the rip winner. And you got to hit it hard if Jenna's not going to run it down.
O'Malley on the attack, just out. Again, these matches have been going strong for about an hour or so. Some of them in the second set, most of them still in the first set.
Nice put away on court on singles 3 for Darien. O'Malley coming to net.
Beautifully placed shot from O'Malley. We're talking before the match. You think there's any relation to the O'Malley family and Sean O'Malley, Connor O'Malley, former DHS football players?
I think that's a pretty common name.
So those guys were very talented athletes. I want to say they had a sister that played, I want to say, basketball or maybe lacrosse.
These guys are hitting hard, singles 2. That's a nice point for Annabelle.
Back on singles 2.
Just a power shot from Annabelle. She was inside the baseline and took the shot.
Now Ria Nada will get back on the serve receive to Hirsch. She not on the serve. And Darien, they're in the home blacks, Staples in the visiting whites. Although I don't know if they have home and away jerseys.
I don't think they do.
Darien is home in the black, and Staples is road in the whites.
That's where Annabelle's at her best, when she can set up and really step into it. She's been hitting with a lot of authority.
Now will be forced to go to her forehands.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Not fooled at all.
That's the first set, 6-4. Oh. Oh, so I'm sorry, 6-5. I didn't realize that they had, so it's not the first set.
I think it's still the first set.
Yep. Oh, you got to win by 2, so it's either Annabelle wins the first set or it goes into a breaker.
So that's one of the times you just blame it on the scoreboard not be facing you.
And on doubles 2, they look to only be in their 8th game.
4-3 in favor of Suffren and Das.
No, they're down 3-4, Delaney Das.
Well, that's not confusing.
And Suffern. Interesting that the Staples right now, there are a couple lefties on the court, singles 2 and in doubles 2. That is a nice winner from Suffern.
And going up against the Staples captain, Caroline Cagione, and the likes of the sophomore Lola Lamensdorf.
Nice, another nice rip winner from O'Malley.
Just out from a nod, point to Hurst, as she's looking to close out this first set.
Especially when you're serving, you want to try and avoid getting into a breaker. Anything can happen in a breaker.
Talk about the stress right there to end a set. A couple points deciding it. And DeCastro and Althoff, Burns and Kirscher finally reach a conclusion to their first sets.
Oof. Just missed that winner down the line from Rhea.
And Hurst wins another. Just barely skimming that line. And Kornbluth has won the last 2 games over O'Malley. She now controls a 2-1 lead in this second set.
I know the Darien boys, I believe they swept all the singles lines and they won tough doubles 1 match. They were down and came back. So
was that 5-0 Darien on the boys'
I
side?
believe so, yeah. Good day for Darien, but this one is not over.
Right now 1-0 in favor of Darien, so far from the same score in the boys' game. As Darien lead Staples 1-0 thanks to Sarah Donnelly winning singles 1.
And doubles 1. The Staples has won the first set.
That was a 6-3 final in favor of Burns and Kirscher. But again, how about there on court 5, now entering game number 9, tied 4 apiece.
If you have dinner plans, you might want to cancel that reservation.
It's probably wise. But the stalemate over there on court 5 does not seem to see any resolution in sight. I've got a feeling this is going to be another one that comes down to the last couple matches on the night. So buckle up, get some popcorn ready, get cozy. We've got a long night of tennis ahead of us. And a beautifully placed shot from Kornbluth.
Very well placed. And I will say, typically for a match, high school match, beyond the players, you'll see about 15, maybe 10 to 15 people. There's probably 40 here. It's a bigger crowd than normal. Some of the Westport is big into tennis, and their fans will travel.
What do you think the next upgrade to this court is? Some bleachers? Some lights, maybe?
Yeah, Their home's right over there. I'm not sure that would be easy to get in. That's a really good get. Singles too.
I mean, you look at the DHS Stadium field just getting lights in 2016, I want to say. It's going to be interesting what the next field will be to get lights. Could be the DHS tennis courts. Definitely one of the most storied programs on campus. And Corn Bluff again with a good shot.
As I said, you can never count her out. She's tough.
Now to this doubles 2. And 4-4 in the first set still.
It's a nice volley poach from Delaney, cutting across. Perfect placement.
I mean, the time that it's taken them to play 9 games, Donnelly's already concluded her first match, and the second singles match, the singles 4 match, is already done with their first game in the first sets. And there's still another match that hasn't even started yet. Wang and Zittimer against Fitzpatrick and Farmer.
Can't tell if Remy's ball was in down the line.
See, this is where they would use the challenge and the assisted referee. Maybe that should be the next upgrade in DAF right there. They get the little graphic, shows where the animated ball is.
The eagle eye.
The eagle eye. Well, I know for some high school sports they're starting to implement some video replay. I think basketball and football, once they get the semis and state tournament, or semis and state championships. And Burns and Kirscher go up 1-0 in singles 1 in the second set, that is. I will say Staples does travel well, to your points. Although I'm not sure how much traffic there would be southbound on a Monday afternoon. Here's Schmidt and Yanks. Schmidt controlling the 1-0 lead in this first set.
Jessica's playing with putting some mustard on the ball. She's won a couple points with just some power.
Again, that might be an example of just Sadie Yanks sitting on the sideline for a little too long. Probably been an hour since she was warmed up.
I think Jessica would have the same problem.
That's true. And a beautiful place shot from Corn Bluff, another winner.
And what's interesting is that especially in one of these long matches, if the match isn't decided, I believe it's a full third set, not a super breaker, which is first to 10 by 2. So whatever the last match is.
Definitely would be interesting if we get there. First, not able to keep it in. Now there's doubles 2. Still 4-4.
The game just ended. I don't know who won that last game. They're going to the score tower.
Are they going to the score tower?
Oh,
5-4.
5-4 Staples.
Again, you wouldn't interpret that as 5-4 in the team on the near side, which was Darien.
Green is the home.
Oh. Well, that also makes sense.
But you're right. Sometimes they just turn it. But in this
I think
case,
that would make more sense. So 5-4, Lamensdorf and Cagione leaves Suffren and Doss. Again, still in that first set on doubles 2. All right, take you back to the singles 4 match with Yanks and Schmidt.
Nice put away from Jessica Schmidt. She looks pretty comfortable up at net. Yanks had a shot to really rip at it and went for the body, and Jessica was there.
Good rally going on court 2. Oh, not enough on it.
They're really battling.
Again, in a match
Another power shot.
A match that Darien leads 1-0, thanks to Sarah Donnelly taking singles 1 for Darien. That's the only match that's concluded. We've been going at it for about an hour and a half. Although, to be fair, we did get the late start on this Monday afternoon.
Actually, you have the singles 2. The score needs to be updated.
Oh, thanks for calling me out on that. Someone's keeping me honest.
And it was 7-5.
Again, in a dream world, we would get this all automated. I think in a world like 2023, you still have to do some stuff manually. And Corn Bluff really asserting some dominance in this second set, leading 4-1 over O'Malley.
Yeah, Ria Anand has gone up 2-1 in the second set. And she's up a break. Oh.
Is there some confusion?
We were going by the score tower. It may not be right.
I think it's a question of who won the first game.
2-0. Yep. A little bit of a shift in momentum, but still early in the second set in singles 2.
So that's the expert, Dave, there. You want to explain to the viewers what the confusion was about?
The score tower on singles 2 was showing 2-1 in favor of Staples, and some of the Staples fans were just saying that the score was wrong, and upon discussion, turned out that Annabelle had not won a game in the second set, so it's 2-love in the second set in favor of Ria.
Staples starting to get some momentum in them here in these second sets. Over one match that is still in the first set over on doubles 2. They're looking to finally hit a conclusion in this first set. She's a 5-5.
Think so.
Oh, we'll go with it. You can see Suffren not giving in on it. Great shot there from Kirscher.
We're going to try and get back to doubles 1. Staples has gone out to a commanding lead in the second set, 3-love. See if Ava and Grace can right the ship before they dig too deep a hole.
They lost the first set 6-3, trailing 3-0 in the second set. So again, 6 out of the 7 matches have begun play. 5 out of the 7, actually 4 of the 7 have reached the second sets. Exceptions being Schmidt and Yanks over on court number 1 that just started, and then Sefrin Das, Lamensdorf, and Cagion still going. Again, a match that started roughly around 4:45. Now crossed over the hour mark, and they're still in the first set. Some free ball action on court 3. And again, this was just that softball tactic we've been talking about, and eventually Corn Bluff makes the mistake. But that's what they're looking for, just to tire each other out until eventually somebody makes that mistake.
Interesting here, when you pull someone who normally plays singles, and I think both Audrey and Corinna do play singles, oftentimes putting 2 really good, strong players together doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win at doubles. It's a bit of a different game, but they're really playing well, making very few unforced errors, and they've been winning more than net points.
A lot of matches this season that Burns played singles 1 and Kircher played singles 2. They both accumulated a 4-1 record in singles play this season. So 2 of the stronger records on singles play teaming up for this doubles 1 team. Again, Kircher played there a little bit this year with a couple different partners. But for Burns, her first time playing doubles this season.
Oh, very good point.
Almost some miscommunication on the Staples side.
They still won that point.
Didn't look pretty, but they got it done. And over on court number 3, it is now 5-2 in favor of Corn Bluff in this second set. And trying to get back from a 6-3 loss in the opening set at the hands of Scarlett O'Malley. And 6-2 we were just corrected on. We were close enough. Again, Corn Bluth looking to send it to a third set. She's been playing well as of late. Sun has slowly made its way behind the trees. So much for the tent we pulled out. 3-love on court 4. Burns and Kircher on top.
This whole match may come down to someone digging deep. finding a way in a third set to come through.
Again, buckle up and get some popcorn out. Going to be an exciting one. And truly one of the beauties in the FCIAC for tennis, the DHS tennis courts newly rebuilt. I want to say during COVID 3 years ago. So it was nice for the players to return from COVID with some brand new tennis courts to play on. Again, you're watching the DAF Media Network. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity girls tennis match between the Darien Blue Wave and the Staples Wreckers. Braden Shank and Dave Donnelly with you. So glad you can be with us wherever you may be on this Monday afternoon. Our production crew this afternoon, James Foresta, and our advisor, Damian Andrew. We're going to bring you the sights and sounds in this one. Again, in this rivalry for the ages between the Wreckers and the Blue Wave.
Looks like Darien, Ava, and Grace just got on the board in the second set. So I believe it's 3-1 in favor of Staples.
That was a match that Burns and Kircher took the first set 6-3. So they just need to get to 6 in the second set, and they will get Wreckers on the board for the equalizer. And how about Annabelle Hirsch winning the last 2 games on court 2, regains a 3-2 lead in the second sets. Kornbluth, this one coming back, and it's out. But still, Hirsch looking to get a match win for Darien. 7-5, she took the opening sets.
A little bit of a momentum shift there at the start of the second set, and she's rallied for 3 straight. So.
Again, there was some confusion on 2-1. It eventually was 2-1, and then they played it out. And a great shot from O'Malley. Can't put Kornbluth away. And eventually there's a resolution in the first set on doubles 2, going in favor of Staples Wreckers. Lamensdorf and Cagione. And the rally for the ages won by O'Malley.
And a good cut volley from Annabelle on singles 2, which I know you're not watching, but
another win for O'Malley. And trailing 5-2 has some work in this second set.
on court 2 here, as we said, the momentum has shifted. This is where Annabelle needs to consolidate the break. And if she can go up, she'll be in control of this match.
(3-2) in favor of Hirsch in this second set. But again, as they've shown so far in this set, anything can happen. That coming right over to us.
That's a nice backhand winner from Annabelle. it's interesting, Braden, being at a college match 2 weeks ago. You know, you hear that someone hits a good shot, some people here are cheering, you know, go so-and-so. There, it's just raucous.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no decorum.
What was the college match you saw?
Franklin and Marshall versus Haverford. Heated rivalry.
Yeah.
Indoors, where the male screams are deafening.
Franklin Marshall is an indoor facility?
They were playing away, but they do have one. But
Haverford is where, Pennsylvania?
yeah.
Well, in state rivalry?
In the Centennial Division. But it's, you know, they're pretty much cheering double faults and kind of what a typical tennis fan would view as out of bounds. You don't cheer someone else's mistakes, but the college level's a little different. They take delight in it.
Just imagining they do with basketball when someone goes to the free throw line trying to distract people with all the signs and the fat heads and every time someone serves.
Exactly.
I feel like it would make the sport a little interesting, though. If you could make as much noise as possible, try to distract the other person. Might not be sportsmanlike.
I don't think it matters at the collegiate level.
Meanwhile, Burns and Kircher go up 5-0 on doubles one. And they're looking for the straight sets against DeCastro and Althoff. And that would put the records on the board, but first they got to get there.
Oh, it's 5-love in the second set for the records. I thought that Grace and Ava had gotten on the board in the second.
I thought so too. At least they had down that they had won, but it's not what the score reads. Again, 2 singles players for Staples stepping up to play in this doubles one match. Something that head coach Jenna Wider was looking to get a win at doubles one. And that's what Burns and Kircher are looking to do. And Kornbluth now just 1 point away from winning this winning the second set and forcing the third set. Second serve coming from O'Malley. And they just played through that. Kornbluth with the win. She takes the second set, forcing set number 3, fighting off the ball coming on the court. They're tied 1 apiece, and now doubles one, about to hit a conclusion in this set. But Kornbluth with the win in the second set, 6-2. That forces a third set in singles 3. And now DeCastro and Althoff find their backs up against the wall.
Yeah, they're serving to stay in this match right now.
DeCastro now to the back row. Althoff not able to get there.
And that's the match.
And that is how the match ends. Burns and Kircher with the dominating performance in the second set. They take the match 6-3, 6-0. And that now moves our score to 1-1 in the match between Darien and Staples. So the Wave takes singles 1, but the Wreckers retaliate, taking doubles 1. And it is a brand new game with 5 matches to play. And Dave, what do you see in that doubles 1 match?
Just, you know, as I said, it's sometimes when you put singles players, and I don't know how much they play doubles, you put them together, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to gel well, but they played very, very good doubles, and they just got in a groove, and they were winning those points at net, and that was the difference. A lot of bang, bang, bang exchanges, and most that I observed went Staples' way. And
over on court 1, Sadie Yanks winning the last 2 games. giving Staples the 3-2 lead in the opening set.
Strong serve from Delaney Das there. Doubles 2. So you're going to see doubles 3 go out in what could be a very important match.
Well, indeed. I'm trying to figure it out. So singles 3, they're about to start a third set. They get a full intermission for it?
They get typically coaching, water break, 5 minutes.
Bring the Zamboni out, keep it moving. Nonetheless, 1-1 our score between Darien and Staples here in this Varsity Girls Tennis match on the DAF Media Network. So Darien will look to do something they haven't done this year, and that is beat a team not 7-0. All 5 of their victories coming at the score of 7-0. The only time they've dropped a match this season is when they dropped 4 to the Fairfield Ludlow Falcons in a 4-3 loss. Here's Hershen Anad. The sophomore on this Wreckers team. Now a nod back on the serve.
We're getting an update on doubles 2. It was only the first game in the second set. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's, yeah, 1-love Darien in the second set.
So Suffren and Das able to get it done.
Das having some good serves in that first opening game of the second set. It's a good get. Very good get from Annabelle. Full extension. That's a nice shot from Rianand. It's a rip winner on the backhand side.
So a nod with another winner. Again, she's trailing 1-0 to Annabelle Hirsch and Darien. And not able to get the left-handed shots.
It's a good shot from Annabelle. It had a little bit of an arc.
Back to singles 2 with Hirsch and Anad. Great get from Anad just off the frame.
They're duking it out here. Court 2.
And that one just out. Hirsch was looking for the winner. And on court number 1, a sneaky good match between Schmidt and Yanks. Schmidt won the last 2 games to regain a 4-3 lead. Actually, maybe she's down 4-3?
She's down 4-3.
Again, they got to flip it. It's a little confusing.
The green is home.
I think they would paint it at least blue. No? We'll get some arts and crafts out here. 4-3 Yanks leads, my apologies. I think just do what college does, get like one of those LED scoreboards for each match. But again, in a 1-1 match, all of these are crucial. With 5 matches to play.
And it gets really exciting when everyone's huddled around one court. Boys are going to be home back to the high school before this this match is decided.
Did you get a final from the boys match?
Don't have the final, but wow, she got line.
Rhea
Nice
Nod.
shot.
What a shot. Scarlett O'Malley will take back to the court after about a 10-minute intermission between the second and third sets. She'll meet Jenna Kornbluth. Kornbluth winning the second set 6-2. A good redemption for Jenna after losing the first set 6-2. Anad. And what a rally this is. And that is in. A winner for Hirsch. And you could see Anad coming away with a smile on her face, and that's just a beautifully placed
Yeah,
shot.
there's nothing you can do against that. You couldn't place it better. There's more Westport Staples parents here than in attendance than local.
And they travel well. Fan base shows up. I was expecting a nice tailgate, you know, bring some cornhole. Get here at like 2 o'clock, start tailgating for the match.
This match is still going on, another deuce.
Ooh.
I'm not sure it's still 3-2, but
And Hirsch with another.
it's a big point here. If she can get the break.
Still no sign of life on court 3.
Yeah, it's a particularly long break.
They are going to a third set, right?
They are going to a third set. Just wondering if there's a medical timeout or something, because it's been 15 minutes.
And what's weird is O'Malley's on the court ready to go. I don't know where Kornbluth is.
I think that was the break Annabelle was looking for. I think she's up 4-3. I don't know. 5-2. Annabelle's up 5-2.
And Hirsch will look to close it out in that second set.
Oh.
Not going to speculate much there, but
I was thinking like a knee or something. Sprained knee.
actually, no, it looks like Kornbluth's ready to go. Coming out with an
Yeah.
ice pack. As an ambulance did pull up.
I don't think it is for this match.
I don't think so.
Certainly hope not.
Probably the baseball match, lacrosse game, rugby game, something else going on campus. Definitely a lengthy break, though, on court 3. As Kornbluth will trot back over the court.
Even for a medical timeout, that was lengthy.
And again, it just shows you the passion that these athletes leave out on the courts. Truly not giving anything up. And they get the new balls on court 3. I assume that makes a big difference, playing with new balls?
For the really big servers, yes, more so. I mean, they're not hitting hard enough where it's going to make a huge difference, but ball will be a little bit livelier. I mean, those guys hitting it, men and women, 70, 80 miles an hour and 100-mile-an-hour serves, it starts to really wear on the balls. But
so again, I'll take the blame for that one. There we go. There's Kornbluth and O'Malley in the 3rd set.
And now Annabelle Hurst is up 30 love. She is 2 points away from taking the 3rd match of the game of this match.
That's where we take you now in singles 2 with Hurst and Anand.
I'm off by a point. I don't know if she's up. It's either 30-30 or 40-15. I don't know.
Yeah, this is where the LED scoreboard would come in handy.
Oh, just a rip winner. I believe it is now 40-30 match point.
Match point coming for Hurst. She serves on the near side. And that's how it ends. Hurst,
well done.
With the set 2 winner. She takes singles 2 by the final of 7-5, 6-2. And a great back and forth contest between Annabelle Hurst and Anand.
It's a high level of tennis. Well played on both sides.
Darien now retakes the lead 2-1. They get a standing ovation from our crowd here on hands. Always impressive to play for that long. They went just about an hour, a little over an hour, probably an hour 20 minutes, leaving it all out there. But eventually Hurst comes away with the victory.
That's a nice, nice shot.
And now Schmidt has won the last 2 games on court 1 to take a 5-4 lead. So again, 3 matches have concluded. Darien has won 2 of them. Staples has won 1 of them. Sarah Donnelly took down Maddie Henley in singles 1, and Annabelle Hurst took down Ananda.
Anand, I believe.
Rian Anand, sorry for the names.
I've wanted to correct you all day.
You could have corrected me earlier.
I wasn't sure I was pronouncing it right either. So.
It's 3 A's in the vicinity of 4 letters.
It's a tough name.
It definitely is. And then the other match to go final was doubles 1, where Burns and Kircher took down Althoff and DeCastro 2-0.
And that was a little bit of a surprise, as I said, because DeCastro and Althoff are tough, and they just, especially in that they were, I believe it was 3-3 in the first set, and I'm not sure they won another game. They
Yeah.
just kind of, Corinna and Audrey just kind of took over the match. You're not going to see that very often because DeCastro and Althoff are a strong team. So.
And again, that's one of those instances that for Staples, you have two strong singles players in Burns and Kircher, but going up against Sarah Donnelly, Annabelle Hirsch, you don't know if you're going to win them or not, so you might as well combine them in doubles one and take down one of the best doubles teams in the state.
Well, it was a risk because if they didn't, that was going to be that was a match Staples couldn't afford to lose.
So again, the one match that Staples won was on doubles 2. And now we do see 4 matches still left to be played. And it's anybody's game here. I believe in the history of DAF, today is our 6th, 7th broadcast of varsity tennis, I want to say. This might be the first time that we have a competitive match here, not a 7-0 one-sided affair. Actually, what was last year's Staples boys? 5-2?
That sounds right.
So with the exception of the 2 Staples matches, just shows you Darien Staples always lives up to the hype.
Well, neither side is going to give it to the other. They're going to have to play well to take it. So there's still tennis to be played here.
Actually, it is. It's our 5th tennis broadcast in DAF history. Been fortunate to be on the call with all 5 with you, Dave. It's been a fun journey. We'll be back in the state playoffs in 2021. Darien, South Windsor. And a great shot by Kornbluth. And you can tell Jenna is out there on a mission. Dropped the first set, came back to win the second, but trails 1-0 in this third set.
As I said, she has a way of, she has a history of winning big matches. So.
And an interesting serve from O'Malley there, going underhands, and she can't win that one.
It'll be interesting to see who the hero is for which side when this is all said and done. A lot of these matches look like they could go either way.
And Seffern and Das starting to make a little bit of a comeback in this second set. They gain a 3-1 lead over in doubles 2.
And the doubles 3 is underway, which, as we've discussed, could be hugely important.
So again, it's important to keep tabs on all of our matches so far. And there's the winner for Yanks. 5-4 still in favor of Schmitz. And again, to give you a quick little recap, that's all we've seen so far today. Donnelly took down Henley, 6-1, 6-0. Hirsch winning at 7-5, 6-2. And the other one to go final, Burns and Kircher taking down Althoff DeCastro, 6-3, 6-0. And then you see the other matches now all underway here on this Monday afternoon from Darien High School.
And this just in, the Darien boys are up 6-love. And the doubles 3 is on the court right now.
That would be a big win for the Darien boys tennis team to stay undefeated. Especially for the boys on a mission to regain the FCIAC title after they fell last year, I believe, in the semis.
That is right, to Staples. Darien boys won in the regular season, and then Staples came back in in the all-important FCIAC semifinal and avenge the loss.
Although it was, I believe, Greenwich that took home the FCIAC title, or Westhill?
Westhill did.
Westhill. I believe Westhill beat Greenwich in the other semifinal, then went on to beat Staples in the championship. As Schmidt has taken the opening set on singles 4. She leads 1-0 as they get ready to play these second sets. And Sefrin and Das have grabbed a 4-1 lead on doubles 2, looking to force that to a third decisive set. Now the only match in progress right here, O'Malley and Kornbluth, which the score reads at 3-0 Kornbluth. 3-love in this third set.
And in doubles 3, Darien goes up to the 1-love lead.
Again, that is a match that features a lot of talented tennis players out there for Darien. It's Janie Fitzpatrick, the junior, and Lily Farmer, the junior. And for the Staples Wreckers, it's Alana Zittimer and Lucia Wang, the 2 seniors for the Wreckers. Wang lost in the doubles 2 match for Staples at the FCIAC Championship a year ago for Staples. Looking to avenge that loss against the Wave. So all 7 matches have officially started now. 4 are out there still going. Again, Darien leads 2-1 on Staples. Just joining us, you're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Braden Schenk and Dave Donnelly with you. So glad you can be with us. And we just got word, Darien boys tennis took down Staples 7-love. At least that's what my sources are telling me. It's a big win for the Blue Wave boys tennis team. And now the girls looking for the sweep of the Wreckers. O'Malley not able to get that one over. And I assume that was just a safety serve from O'Malley.
That was a second.
So she commits the double faults. Now returning on the serve.
You got it, Jeff.
So here in this third set between Kornbluth and O'Malley. 3-love, Kornbluth leads over O'Malley. And Dave, what's the mentality out there for Scarlett O'Malley, who took the first set and has slowly watched as that lead slipped away and now finds herself on the outside looking in?
Well, when she was winning in that first set, she was blending the soft game, moving Jenna around, and then mixing in some power. And what I've observed is when she's going for the big shot to end the point, at least of late, they haven't been landing.
Looks like they're playing with 2 tennis balls out on the court. Not sure how that's safe, but they play it through. Suffren and Das. This was a match that started with the initial group. Starting at about 4:40, coming up now on 2 hours, and they are here in the second set still. And at some point, the fatigue is going to come in. Probably got another hour or so until it really starts getting dark. Even that, probably even an hour and a half or so until they'll look at it. So they'll look to finish this match up here on this Monday night. Well, it's especially a trip from Westport. Not really sure if you want to come back down and do that on a second day.
It looks like doubles 2, Darien has gone out to a commanding 5-1 lead. So that one looks like it's heading towards a third. That's a really nice shot from Scarlett O'Malley. Just ripped a winner, and that might kind of get some of that confidence back. She needed that one.
Again, O'Malley has not won a set since the opening set. Now we take you back out to doubles 2, where Remy Suffren and Delaney Das will look to send it to a third set. So 2 doubles matches, 2 singles matches underway. Again, in a match that Darien leads 2-1 over the Staples Wreckers. Remy Suffren coming back to serve for Darien.
She'd like to close out the second set here.
That would be a big one for Darien if they can close it out. Darien leads in the second set. Amensdorf and Cagione took the first one 7-5, but they're looking to avoid that third set, and they have a lot of work left, and it's one of those things they might just hang up the white flag and focus on the third set, trailing 5-1 in the second.
That's a nice shot. That's singles 3. Scarlett O'Malley trying to get back into this match. She keeps hitting balls like that. She might just do it.
Again, not much time to waste for Scarlett O'Malley, trailing 4-1 in this third and deciding game. Third deciding set, that is. So if there's one time to turn the engine on, it's right now for Scarlett O'Malley.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Scarlett, another rip backhand winner. Scarlett's had 3 rip. It wasn't an outright winner, but 3 solid power shots to end those last points. She's starting to get in the zone again.
And again, trailing 4-1, it's really a time to get hot if you're Scarlett O'Malley.
Just came right back, held it, I believe, held it love.
Looking across the way over on court 1, Sadie Yanks leading Jessica Schmidt in this second set, 3 love. And over on court 3 in the deciding third set between Kornbluth and O'Malley. Kornbluth leading 4-1. And they're going to take another timeout. Kornbluth took a lengthy medical timeout at the end of the set. Appears to be something on her wrist that has been bothering her. Coach Jenna Wider will come over. So they will enter another medical timeout. Over on the doubles one side of things, Fitzpatrick and Farmer go up 2-1 on Wang and Zittimer. And then over on court number 5, Das and Sefrin up 5-2 in the second set. Looking to force it to a third set.
We're in the 5th game. I do not know who won the, whether it's 2-2 or 3-1 on doubles 3. Dawson suffering, inching closer to taking the second set.
They're up 5-2 in the second set. Again, one more game, and that would push it to a third set. And now we take you back to our double box here. On the left, Yanks and Schmidt. On the right, the doubles 1 match. Actually, it's doubles 2. That correction right there. Suffren Das and Lamensdorf and Cagione. Wang and Zinnemer taking the next 2 games. It's 3-2 in favor of the Wreckers in doubles 3. (5-2) over on court number 5. So again, 3 matches now underway.
And looks like Suffern and Das had a couple set points there. I think we're back to deuce.
And again, we're keeping you here with this double box. On the left, the singles 4 match, Yanks and Schmidt, and on the right, the doubles 2 match, still in progress. A match that started at 4:40. They're still going strong. As Suffern and Das looking to force it to a 3rd set.
Jenna looks to be in quite a bit of pain on the wrist.
Like I said, they tied it up 1-1, and they took about a 15-minute intermission between the 2nd and 3rd sets. We assumed a medical timeout, probably even closer to 20 minutes. And now here in this 3rd set, 4-1 in favor of Kornbluth. And again, they hit a medical timeout.
This is the second, I believe, of the match.
And rules on that, the injury time, they keep a timer on it.
It's 5 minutes in the USTA, and I just heard she had 3.5 minutes, and we've been in delay for probably another 7 or 8, so it's tough to kind of re-warm back up.
And again, that's the last thing you want to see is a potential player pulling out in the 3rd set, and especially in a back-and-forth battle like this. Nice one by Wang and Zinnemer over on court 4.
Who pulled ahead 3-2.
Still in the 2nd set over on doubles 2. Suffern and Das, and the Wreckers not able to quite close it out. And another point win for the Wreckers over there on court 5. I believe they've taken the
5-3.
So the Wreckers holding on some hope in this 2nd set. But again, a lot of work left to be done. It's now 4-1 over on court 1. And Yanks looking to force it to a 3rd set. Kornbluth is back up, ready to get going again, back on court number 3. 4-2 the score in the third set in favor of Kornbluth. Again, now Jenna will need to get back into the swing of things, and she'll serve right off the bats. And you can tell the break might have gotten to her. She hits it first one into the nets. Now, Dave, if you're Scarlett O'Malley here, are you, I assume, keeping the pedal to the metal here?
Well, you know, you want to play your game and not Jenna's. And Jenna's is just sort of softer, moving you around kind of thing. I would do what she has now started doing well again, is sort of pick my spots. Because she's getting looks at some of these short balls well inside the baseline. And those are the ones where you want to take advantage. But Jenna runs a lot of stuff down, so you gotta.
So it's been the back and forth battle we've seen all afternoon. And O'Malley not able to return that serve. Point to Kornbluth.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Remy!
That's a good volley.
Keeper Scarlett, you got it. That's Scarlett. Let's go. Yeah, Scarlett.
You see doubles 3 on your screen. Fitzpatrick and Farmer against Wang and Zittimer. They're 3-2 in this first set in favor of the Wreckers. As Das and Sefrin have forced a third set. Complete the final 6-3. Could be off on that. Nonetheless, they will advance to play in a third set. Again, now in our double box coverage here, singles 4 and doubles 3. Two matches, single or other match still going in singles number 3. Scarlett O'Malley and Jenna Kornbluth. 5-2. The Wreckers go up. Wang and Zittimer, 2 seniors for this Lady Wreckers team. And now both doubles matches have hit intermission in their games.
Staples is out to a 5-2 lead. They, after Darien got off to a great start in doubles 3, they've started rolling here.
Yanks and Schmitz, 5-1 in favor of Yanks. And Yanks looking to force a third set on Schmitz. Some big points here about to ensue.
You got it, Scar!
And Schmidt not able to get there. But again, we might see a conclusion here on court 3. Kornbluth leading, I believe, 15-love over O'Malley. O'Malley will try her second serve.
You got it, Jazz!
You can see the volley here. Neither player looking for the put-away shot just yet.
Very tentative.
And now O'Malley going more on the attack. This point is still going.
I'll make sure the number 4.
And eventually it's out, and that's exactly what Kornbluth will do. Just tire out O'Malley.
Grind you down.
Till eventually O'Malley makes the mistake. Over on court 1, they tied it up 1-1. That was Sadie Yanks, who won it 6-1. And that forces it to a third set.
3 of the remaining 4 matches have gone to a third.
And a beautifully placed shots from Kornbluth.
Scarlett tried to catch her napping with an underhand serve, and Jen was able to get there.
Come on, Scarlett!
So Kornbluth looking to finish out this set strong.
I believe this is a triple match point here. He's got to get the serve in.
Serves in.
Oh, that's a great shot.
And just out.
Staples takes the first set in doubles 3. 6-2. Yep, you have that.
The drop shot. And Kornbluth right there for the recovery, and that will do it for singles 3. Jenna Kornbluth in a marathon of a match takes down Scarlett O'Malley's 2-6, 6-2, and 6-2 en route to Staples' second match win of the contest. And just like that, we are back tied at 2 apiece. The long, hard-fought match, but it finally ends with Kornbluth coming out on top. And the freshman not able to get it done for Darien, but it's not going to be the last time that she sees Staples. So now we take you back to this doubles 3 match, just starting the second set. Wang Zittimer leading Fitzpatrick Farmer. And a shot just wide from Janie Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick fresh off the basketball season this winter.
Tried to do a little too much with that one. She just needed to put it in the right place.
And again, that's one where if you leave that much of the court exposed, you just got to hit it over, put it in play.
Yeah.
Darien boys tennis team arriving home after a 7-0 defeat on the Staples Wreckers boys team.
And the Darien doubles 3 is going to have to kind of just up the energy here. They're just starting to But they're down 1-love in the second. Got to stay in this set. Can't dig a hole.
Here's singles 4.
And they're duking it out, singles 4 here.
Said it's a sneaky good match over there on court 1. Just because they started late doesn't mean it's one premier match, and Schmidt and Yanks have been going at it. Schmidt took the first set 6-4, then Yanks taking the second 6-1.
And given the brisk crepuscular breeze pulling in and we're getting near sunset, I would want doubles 2 to get back on the court. They probably have about a half hour of visibility.
Well, that's what it gets interesting if potentially another medical timeout, because I don't see Staples out on the court, but Darien's getting ready to go. In the third set, Schmidt and Yanks still at it.
Every point big.
And Yanks just hitting that one in the net.
That was, I believe, Jessica took the first game of the third set after losing the second 6-2. It's a good momentum builder to get back ahead.
So doubles 2 is now hopping back out on the court. It's one of the first matches to get started, and they're still going. Again, these other 2 matches, the singles 4 and the doubles 3, started late, were the 6th and 7th matches to get started, respectively. So they haven't been going as long. However, the absolute stalemate over on court number 5 continues.
Yeah, Darien's fallen love 2 in the second set on doubles 3.
Doubles 3, Wang and Zittimer lead 2-love in the second set. You can hear the fans starting to cheer as they start huddling up around court number 5. Good chance that might be our deciding contest. And what a get right there on court 5.
And you wonder if in some of these matches, fatigue is going to set in. A lot of them have been out there for a while.
And again, when you get the cheers from your teammates, the parents, the fans here, might fuel a little bit of that fatigue and start to fight some of it off. But again here, coming up around on hour number 3 in this match. Again, we did start a little late, around 4:30 or so was the first serve of the first match.
Don't know who won the second game in the third set in singles 4.
Still reads 0-0. I don't know if that's right.
In doubles 2, Darien has taken a 1-love lead.
And did they update the score on doubles 3? Or are they just
I
not?
believe they're down 2-love and 40 serving 15.
Not able to get it at the net was the Wreckers here in the doubles 3 match. Fitzpatrick from the back, protecting that line, tries it again. And a winner right there from the Wreckers. The front row attack works to perfection. So again, 3 matches still going. Jessica Schmidt, Sadie Yanks in singles 4. In singles 2, Remy Sefrin and Delaney Das. And in doubles number 3, Janie Fitzpatrick, Lily Farmer against Lucia Wang and Alana Zittimer. Sefrin and Das looking to climb back in this third set.
I think they're up 1-love.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's 1-1 now in the third set.
And again, one of these matches could be a potential 7th deciding match. 2-2 is currently our score.
And doubles 3, Darien down love 3. Lily Farmer set to serve the 4th game of the second set, and she's got a big serve. She can get that in, kind of get them back into this match.
And that's one Darien could definitely use. They dropped the first set 6-2. You never want to go down in 2 sets. You want to at least force the fight, put it to 3 sets, which we've seen 3 matches go to already this afternoon. So 3-love, Wang and Zittimer lead Fitzpatrick Farmer. Hey, if you're just joining us, Braden Shank and Dave Donnelly with you. So glad you can be with us on this Monday afternoon. You're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity girls tennis match between the Darien Blue Wave and the Staples Wreckers.
And Staples has gone out to a 2-1 lead in singles 4.
Sadie Yanks over there with the lead. Yanks, the Wrecker sophomore. Again, for all you tennis fans out there, this is the first of 2 DAF Media tennis broadcasts for 2023. We'll be back at it, I believe, maybe even next week for the Darien boys tennis match against New Canaan. May 2nd, Blue Wave and the Rams. And a winner right there.
Nice play by Fitzpatrick coming across the middle. I think they're going to, if you look at the lengthy ground strokes in the doubles 3, they're leaning towards Staples. I would try and pick some spots at net and try and end some of these points a little sooner because they're not winning. Darien is not winning those long rallies. Just like happened there.
There's Farmer, the left-handed serve. Fitzpatrick not able to get there. Farmer on the recovery. And another winner at the net for the Wreckers. Zinnemer doing a great job protecting the net for the Lady Wreckers, and they're winning those points and volleys at the net. So again, 4 matches completed, 3 still to go. As the time has now reached 7:16 Eastern Standard Time. And another winner for the Wreckers on doubles 3. So you see here Jessica Schmidt and Sadie Yanks on the singles 4 match. Again in set number 3. Essentially best out of 3 with these matches remaining. First 2 went a split 2-2. Again, looking at the trends, Darien has never won a match this season by anything other than 7-0, and Staples has never lost when they've won 2 or more matches this season. So one of those streaks is getting broken. Two 2-1 Yanks leads Schmidt in set number 3. 3-love. Doubles 3, the Wreckers lead the Wave. And then in doubles 2, it's tied up 1 apiece in set number 3.
Wave takes advantage of a miscommunication there.
You can tell the fans starting to get into it over on court number 5.
That's where the fan base is.
Again, there's always that one match that everyone seems to gravitate towards, and this is the match that everyone's watching right here. Remy Suffren and Delaney Das for the Wave against Lola Lamensdorf and Caroline Cajano.
Oh, rip winner from Delaney.
And you can hear the fans erupting on it. Das with the big shot there. And this Wave team living it all on the court.
Tattooed that one.
This now moves it to 2-1. So again, the lengthy games continue over on court number 5. And this is the other match still in progress, doubles 3. Wang and Zinnemer and Fitzpatrick Farmer. They move it to 4-1 in favor of the Wreckers. So Farmer Fitzpatrick finds themselves on the board.
Yeah, had to stop some of that momentum from Staples. See if they can build on that and get back into the set. Ooh, and that's a big game. Staples goes up 3-1 and singles 4.
And again, all these games are crucial down the stretch here when you've got 2 matches in the third set and 1 still in the deciding second set. And a beautiful serve from Sadie Yanks.
I think that was a return.
Oh, yeah. Didn't see who was serving that one. And an error on Schmidt right there gives the point to Yanks. Wang not able to knock it over. And 3 deciding matches right now. Singles 4, doubles 2, and doubles 3. And a winner will be decided.
Oh, and it's gone out to a 4-1 lead in singles 4.
So Yanks is moving ever so closely to that victory. And again, if Staples can take home these 2 matches on your screen, singles 4 and doubles 3, then the doubles 2 marathon would not mean anything. However, if Darien can take one of these and then the other one splits, then it all comes down to doubles 2. So a lot of possibilities still on the table here on this Monday night from Darien High School. And Farmer Fitzpatrick take another game.
Crawling back in.
That's all you got to do, start one at a time.
Sometimes it's really hard to close a match when you're up. If they can get a break here and get it back onto Lily Farmer's serve, they could tie this set up.
So a huge game number 7 coming from doubles 3. Or as I learned earlier today, the slang for dubs 3. Didn't think that was credible until we had to ask somebody.
Ooh, very nice shot by Fitzpatrick.
Front row of Zinnemer thought about it, just watched it back.
Momentum has shifted here in singles 4. Yanks has won several games in a row, and
And 2-2 our score between Darien and Staples. Blue Wave and the Wreckers. Someone's going to come away with a victory.
doubles 3 line for Darien has started stringing some points together, clawing their way back.
That's exactly what Darien's looking for. Trying to move it to his potential 3rd set. As for the other 2 matches, they're already in set number 3. Yanks leads Schmidt 4-1 and 2-1 in favor of Dawson Suffren.
That match is the only one that's been out here since the beginning.
Remy Suffren, Delaney Das out there now playing. About to come on hour number 3 on the court. Again, it would be about 7:40 Eastern Standard Time they would hit that mark. Pretty sure the cheering's for a lacrosse game. Could be for a point, though.
Good return. Fitzpatrick uses every inch in 4-3. They're back on serve. Farmer has a chance to tie it at 4.
And again, that would be a big swing match for Darien if they can flip that in their favor. But they start right there with game number 7, making it 4-3, still in favor of Wang and Zinnemer. However, again, Lily Farmer coming up to serve for the Blue Wave. Suffren Das move up 3 games to 1 over on doubles number 2. Sun's starting to set.
There's ever a time for Lily Farmer to get hot with that serve, get some free points here. That's what Darien needs.
First serve from Farmer, and that's a let, so they'll try it again.
They're saying it was out, so
Ooh.
it's close.
And 3 matches still ongoing here in a contest that has lasted nearly 3 hours. Missing on it and saving it is Wang. Good recovery there from Lucia Wang. Now the attention shifting over to that singles 4 match, Yanks and Schmitz.
It's the crowd. It's like in golf.
Just
The
gonna say
18th.
that.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have the guys with the quiet please signs.
And I think Jessica's played a pretty good match. I think she may need this crowd to bring her back into it.
Somebody just took that most recent game. Wasn't sure if it was Schmidt or Yanks.
I think it was Yanks.
Was it 5-1?
I think it's 5-1.
Did flip the serve, so someone won that. I believe it is 5-1 in favor of Sadie Yanks. And they're coming over to the scoring tower. 5-2-2. So Schmidt takes the game and keeps it moving. 5-2. Back up against the wall. Can Schmidt play a flawless third set and keep the wave in it, or will Yanks pull away?
And Staples got the break. They're up 5-3 at doubles 3.
So again, 2 matches that are nearing the end. If Staples plays 2 great games here, they could close out both of these sets and with a 2-match swing potentially go up 4-2 and win the match. However, that's in the future right now, and Darien just needs to keep their games alive, keep playing strong. As you see on your screen on the left, Sadie Yanks, Jessica Schmidt, 5-2 in favor of Yanks. On the right, Zittimer and Zittimer Wang against Fitzpatrick and Farmer. Fitzpatrick sprints back into place. Darien, the 2-player on the front row. And that one's just out.
Yeah, miscommunication.
So again, 2 matches that could hit a conclusion right here. Singles 4 and doubles 3. And that one is out and out of play. Almost hit my car. Probably shouldn't have parked there. Nonetheless, though, Yanks and Schmidt will keep going. Fan throws back in play, does not keep the souvenir. And just through the stick of Farmer, another point for Wang and Zittimer. Sadie Yanks.
I think you're very close to a match point on both of these courts for Staples.
Another point for the Wreckers, again, nearing the end of these 2 matches, singles 4 and doubles 3. Yanks can't get it over. And the call.
I think it was out, was the call.
So they call it out.
I think this is match point here.
Take you back to the double box. And that one is just out.
Whoa.
So Darien stays alive with 2 errors on the Wreckers. However, Yanks is still looking to close it out. And Schmidt keeps it in.
I think this is 40-30. I think this is the match point.
Great get by Fitzpatrick.
Wow. How is that point still going on? Oh,
And eventually, the Wreckers take that. And Jessica Schmidt with another
there's
point
this-
win.
uh,
Darien is holding
still a
on.
pulse. Deuce. Chill is really setting in.
Second serve coming from Yanks.
And there's the match.
So doubles number 3, Wang and Zittimer take it. And now all eyes shift to Yanks and Schmidt.
That's a good get by Yanks. Wow, a huge point. Jessica Schmidt. Just to add out, chance to bring it back to 3-5 if she can take this point. You'd expect nothing less in a Darien Staples match. Can she close it out? No. The crowd.
And Jessica Schmidt survives that, moves it to 5-3 in the set.
Still down a break, though. And as we talked about earlier, sometimes closing out the match is the hardest thing of all. So Darien trails 2-3 in the match score.
What was that
Does
just?
that look like it was sort of a miss hit and just trickled over? Every point you can feel the tension. This is what you're looking for. It's getting so dark, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see the tension much longer, but
What are we looking at, 15-15?
yep, 15 all.
Yanks looking to close it out for the Wreckers. Just needs one more game. Jessica Schmitz looking to keep the wave alive.
Sadie Yanks 2 points away. It's a big point here. You don't want to face 2 match points. They're even taking the booth apart, Braden.
Yeah.
Boys team from Darien has been home for a while, looking on, trying to will their compatriots to victory.
Now moves it to match point for Sadie Yanks and the Staples Wreckers. 40-15. Yanks looking to close out Jessica Schmidt and give the Wreckers the victory.
Both tentative. She fought off one of them, Braden. Still got another to go.
Getting so excited, you're wrapping yourself around these cords.
It's too many.
40-30.
For the people at home, I don't think that you may not realize just how much goes into just the prep here. I'm surrounded by wiring. It looks like NASA control center here.
40-30. Can Yanks close it out?
Net.
And
There it
Schmidt
is.
misses on it. Sadie Yanks.
Maybe we had the score wrong.
We might have had the score wrong.
Might be deuce. Sorry about that at home. It's hard watching two matches. Interesting. Jessica just got caught in no man's land, but didn't pay for it.
Now I believe we'll see advantage to Yanks.
Just interesting seeing Yanks and Schmidt. Didn't Schmidt pitch for the Yanks yesterday?
I think he might have. Clark
Yeah.
Schmidt?
Yep.
I think he might have. Good call. Advantage to Sadie Yanks.
That's a good serve. That's the tentative nature. I think normally Jessica puts that ball away. She didn't want to hit it out. The crowd living and dying with every shot here. Oh.
Holding their breath.
This is unusual at the Darien courts where you get a crowd like this. Raucous.
Moving it back to deuce.
And you got to wonder if
And you can even see doubles number 2 even holding up for a second.
I'm Jessica Schmidt. I might want to just get a serve in here and take pressure off my second serve.
That's exactly what Jessica does.
Airmailed. I mean, they may call this soon. This may be resume at some point in future because it's getting close.
As Schmidt. Floater. Yanks looking to do some damage.
Whoa! That did not just happen. An improbable 4-5 now. Jessica Schmidt will not go quietly into the night, it would seem.
Jessica Schmidt out of nowhere picks up a game
Wow.
on Sadie Yanks, moves it to 5-4. And now this is where things get interesting, folks. We still have 2 matches ongoing here. They're both tight ones. Staples with the 3-2 lead.
Yes.
Again, you see on the left side of your screen, doubles 2. It's 4-2 in favor of Darien in the third set. And then on the right, singles number 4, 5-4 in favor of Sadie Yanks. And all it takes is one more game from Jessica Schmidt to force it to a tiebreak. And this is really a match that has been exciting from the first serve.
Two very evenly matched players, both fighting for their teams. Doesn't get much better than this. But Delaney and Remy know they need to hold line 2 for this to matter.
First one going out, point to Yanks. Again, 5-4. Schmidt fought off Yanks to win the for her fourth game. Just trickling over the net. Schmidt staying alive, and that one can't be put away. You can see Yanks a little confused on it. Schmidt is just returning everything with a force.
Yeah, that was the how did she get to that one look. I've seen that before. But the crowd is just willing these tired legs.
That one's in. Yanks plays it. And that's in.
Wow.
Jessica Schmidt. What a well-placed shot. You can tell Yanks had a lead in this game and has watched as Schmidt has fought all the way back.
Can't recall a match getting close to darkness at Darien.
Haven't quite hit the darkness. That's out. Make it 40-15 in favor of Jessica Schmidt.
Wow.
The scrappiness in Schmidt is unmatched. And she'll have to serve it again.
Remember the match we were talking about earlier that went to resets was called because of darkness and completed weeks later. So I don't think anyone wants to see that happen again, but
Serve is in.
Jessica Schmidt wins this game. I could see this match being postponed.
Because at that point, you would have to play 2 more games, correct? At least.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And Schmidt not able to get there. We're going to deuce.
What happened to the 40 for the deuce?
Oh, do you just put it at 40-40?
Well, same thing.
That's just me just trying to show it somehow. Put 2 lines.
Hear a pin drop here.
And eventually Yanks gets the advantage. Suffren and Doss still lead. However, it will not matter if Sadie Yanks wins this next point for Staples.
Crowd is on their feet.
Even you're getting up on your feet.
Yeah.
And Yanks wins it.
There it is.
The Staples Wreckers come to Darien.
Yanks wins the last 4 points.
And they will take down the Darien Blue Wave. Sadie Yanks, the hero, taking down Jessica Schmidt. 4-6, 6-1, 6-4. And you see it right there, the Wreckers take a 4-2 lead. And Staples has a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, could have gotten it to 5-5. It looked like Darien doubles 2 was up 5-2. It was setting up for an even more dramatic finish, potential tiebreaker.
And you can see Staples, they're excited as Sadie Yanks leaves the court, the hero for the Staples Wreckers. as Staples will come to Darien and take down the Blue Wave. And now this is the only match we have left, doubles number 2. Again, a match that started at 4:40 Eastern Standard Time, surpassed the 3-hour mark, and DAS and Suffren are looking to end out the marathon, but it's not going to matter, Dave, as the Staples Wreckers are going to be your victors in this marathon of a match.
Well, you know, I think it doesn't matter. I mean, Staples has won the match, but I think for Remy and Delaney would like to cut the margin of victory to bare bones.
So Staples keeps their streak intact. They moved to 6-0 this season when they went 2 or more matches in a contest. And Darien, they will now drop their second match of the season. It's like some dance moves to keep warm.
Yeah, and the move of pulling the singles 1 and singles 2 to doubles 1 looms large.
Big question mark for head coach Jenna Wider and the Staples Wreckers, taking your singles 1 and singles 2 players out of the singles rotation, moving them to doubles 1, picking up the win there.
If it works, you're a genius. It pulled it off.
And just like that, the Staples Wreckers will be victorious on this Monday afternoon. What a way to start off the week from the Lady Wreckers.
It looks brighter on the screen than I can't in real life. I can't see it, but whatever you turned up the.
So again, looking ahead for both of these teams. For Darien, they'll drop to.
That was the match.
Oh, look at that! Right on cue. Darien will take the match 6-2. And that will take us to the end of this contest between Darien and Staples. 4-3, your final in favor of the Staples Wreckers. A back-and-forth game all afternoon, but eventually the Wreckers prevail to win it 4-3. And a quick recap of everything we saw here on this Monday afternoon, because it was a lot. Sarah Donnelly started the action off hot for Darien, taking down Maddie Henley, 6-1, 6-0. And then Annabelle Hirsch taking the game 2 for Darien at singles 2, 7-5, 6-2. Although Staples started to knock on the doorstep with Kornbluth winning one against O'Malley, 2-6, 6-2, and 6-2. And then keeping it moving over Sadie Yanks and Jessica Schmitz. Yanks, that was the deciding one, taking down Schmidt 3-1. Also 4-6, 6-1, 6-4. And then the big one, Dave, Burns Kircher taking down Althoff de Castro 6-3, 6-0. And then you see the other two on your screen, Zephyrin and Das taking down the Wreckers to win it 3-1.
It's a 6.
Oh, it's a 6. I probably should change that right there. Okay. Again, if you can't tell, I'm trying to do a little bit of everything here today. But again, those are all your scores here. The Wreckers take down Darien 4-3. Dave, what did you see on this Monday night?
It was exactly what we expected. A close match, both sides, scraping and clawing to get every point. And today, Staples stunned the home crowd here with a bunch of 3-set wins. That when it really came down to it, just kind of had a little extra and took it, but very close. It doesn't get much closer than this.
Just going to say that was definitely the key for Staples, is that they pushed this game to its maximum. They tired Darien out. Kornbluth, Yanks, and doubles number 2 all going to 3 sets, and the Wreckers were able to get the best of the Blue Wave in 2 out of those 3, so they were able to play the marathon of the game, and Darien, a tough loss for them, their second loss of the season, but again, a heartbreaker at the hands of the Staples Wreckers. Darien drops to 5-2 on the season, and Dave, what do you think Darien will look to do differently in the match against Greenwich tomorrow?
Well, again, tomorrow they're going to face Greenwich without their 1 and 3 singles. Greenwich is deep. It's going to be a tough match. They're going to need to, on one of these that could go either way, they're going to need to flip it.
And then as for the Staples Wreckers, they move to 5-2 on the season. They will travel to Fairfield Ward tomorrow on the Blake courts to take on the Mustangs of Fairfield Ward as they look to continue their dominance against the FCIAC competition. But Dave, as the history has shown, there's a chance these two teams will meet a second, if not a third time this season, in FCIAC and state tournaments, or Darien will get their chance potentially for some revenge on the Wreckers, and it's going to leave a sour taste in the Blue Waves' mouth for sure.
Yeah, and as strong as the Staples team was, I mean, they lost 7-0 to New Canaan. So Darien hasn't seen New Canaan. They're facing a tough Greenwich team tomorrow and a tough New Canaan team. So, for an undefeated team last season, this has been a wake-up call for the Wave that, they're playing pretty well, but they need to up their game.
So is this the first loss for Darien since 2021?
That was last week when they lost.
Oh, yeah, full.
Yep. But that was the first loss, probably, 30 straight matches. So having 2 in short order and a tough one tomorrow, they have their work cut out for them.
So it's definitely going to be interesting, the gauntlet that Darien has got themselves into. Again, for you Blue Wave tennis fans out there, boys tennis against New Canaan, I believe, next week will be on the DAF Media Network. So until then, Dave, I hope to see you back here again for that one.
Thank you, Braden.
Of course, it was always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a great time to hop on the call with you. I want to thank James Foresta for coming out on this Monday night, and our advisor Damian Andrew for bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. But again, the Staples Wreckers defeat the Darien Blue Wave 4-3 on this Monday night from the DHS tennis courts. For our entire production crew, Dave Donnelly saying so long from the DHS tennis courts. I've been Braden Shank, and this has been a production of the DAF Media Network. Have a great night, everybody.